Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I'm going to be unlocking more 6 cost First Awakenings on characters that I may use for both PvP and PvE. So the priority though is of course the PvP characters that I may use, and I'm going to start off with Zerida to begin. Because Zerida, well, she's definitely part of my party, and while I may not necessarily use her 6 costs, right? Being able to bring Zerida with Killing Blow, Bloodthirster, and maybe Faction Buff will always be useful. So let's begin. So, in this case, Zerida's gonna have exactly what she usually does. The only question is whether I should have her bring Bloodthirster. Right? So rather than Shadow Raid, I think it's better to do Bloodthirster and Killing Blow. So that's what I'm gonna go for. Right? I can easily avoid Ferrokia initially. Let's begin. Turn on Danger Zone and start by activating Bloodthirster. Now, if you have Extreme Magic Bow, you're free to melee attack and kill Ferrokia here. I'm going to try Killing Blow from range to see what happens. And yeah, I took barely any damage to kill. So down goes Ferrokia. Okay, let's reactivate Bloodthirster and be ready to take on Bozo. Right, so number 2, Killing Blow. And then the last enemy is the enemy Zerida, who activates Killing Blow, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. Because I'm outside of the enemy Zerida's range, she's gonna come charging down, her Killing Blow will expire, and then I can use my Killing Blow to quickly finish her off. So, very, very easy. 6 costs to unlock for Zerida. Alright. And let me just change back her skills for now to what I usually bring. You know, Backstab may very easily be replaced with, you know, as I said, the Killing Blow, Bloodthirster, and Faction Buff Zerida, but for now I'm gonna keep it as is. So Zerida is done, and the next character I'm going to do will be... Why don't I unlock Dieharte? And the reason for that is because my Dieharte is 35 stars. I do occasionally use him for like World Arena. So you never know, I might actually use him for PvP. And I'm just gonna get his first awakening as a result. Okay. So, in this case, there are multiple ranged enemies, and Bozo is at the end with triple AoE. I'm actually going to continue to run my Dieharte with Demon Hunters, Move Again, Strike, and Calamity. You know, I could run a melee version as well. Either one works. You know, if I switch him to melee version, it's pretty easy. Just have him bring, let's say, unicorns instead, and then switch up his skill to, I don't know, 1,000 Hooves, for example, and then you're good to go. So, I'll do the melee version, because I think more people are likely to have him that way. And let's just have him single target strike Varna, and then retreat. And get hit by 1,000 arrows. With Varna running away. So I'm just going to run back a little and wait for Varna to approach. Okay. So we're ready to take her down. Let's just melee attack. Finish her off. And wait for the next challenger. So here comes Dieharte. I'm going to 1000 Hooves him. And then next up is Bozon. No. I was gonna strike an attack, but since I can get into range, let's just do a regular melee attack and easily finish off Bozon with that. There we go. In hindsight, I should have just simply replaced strike with onrush, right? That way, Dieharte could have onrushed against against Varna initially, and that would have helped. Onrush against Varna, 1000 Hooves against 1000 Hooves against Ulte Muller, and then a single target strike to finish off Bozon. Okay, so that's the second 3C though. So next up is going to be Imelda. And the reason for Imelda is because I don't know if I'm going to bring her, but the fact that she can increase unit damage by 20% and also make everyone immune to fixed damage could have potential use as a backup character. So I'm definitely going to get her awakening unlocked. So here we go. So Imelda is facing off against 2 ranged enemies and Elwyn. So I'm just gonna keep her skills as is, I feel. The only question is, actually I might replace Mass Heal with Regenerate. I think that might be worth doing, so I can regenerate myself initially before attacking Elwyn, before attacking Hyde. Let's turn on Danger Zone. I'm just gonna move back and cast Regenerate initially. Hein is gonna move up. And then we're gonna trade ranged attacks. So I'm going to Free Strike. Was not enough damage to one shot, but close to it. And Hein from the Purgatory poison kills himself. Right? So I do have a Purgatory on my Imelda, and that did make a difference there. So next up is Lana, if she comes down. So I'm going to just start moving forward. And she has Exorcist soldiers, which don't really help her. So maybe I'm going... Well, she does have prayer too. I'm going to try this. I'm going to regenerate myself and place myself in range of Leonhardt's attack. She's going to Wind Blade me and take a lot of damage. And then that way I can quickly finish her off. Nearly die, but don't. And that lets me heal up to full. And Elwyn comes in next. So I'm just gonna move up again and regenerate. Elwyn's gonna move up. And I'm going to launch my range attack. Free Strike to one-shot Elwyn, ending this one. So this one is definitely a hit point stat check, right? You're gonna need gear, enough gear to survive attacks and whatnot. But as long as you have the hit points, you'll be okay, right? So in my case, I had 2,954 hit points with an additional 2,088 hit points, and that was enough for her to survive. You can see level 50 everything. She was lacking a bit of damage. You know, if I replace this Purgatory with something that provided 15% int and 10% int, that would have made a difference in terms of one-shotting Hein, right? I only have 15% int increase here. If I compare that to, let's say, I don't know, my Lana. Where is my Lana? Here, right? Lana's Blue Moon offers 13% plus 10%, so this is 23% int. By comparison, my Imelda is getting a measly 15%, so huge int difference. Of course, I am getting 7% hit points here, so that might kind of make up for it a bit. But could definitely roll for a better enchant on the Gorgeous Red, for example. Better enchant on the Baldur's White Robe. Her set of gear, to be honest, is not that great. Like I used her in season 1, and then after that, I just gave her leftover equipment that nobody else needed. So that's why she doesn't have top tier gear, but she was still able to clear the 6 cost battle, First Awakening. And with that First Awakening cleared, I can now choose to bring 6 costs, which could be useful because I could bring Dispel, Regrowth, Mass Heal, or Mass Attack, or Thunderstorm. I'm no longer limited to being forced to bring Freeze Strike. And honestly speaking, it's not often you're going to have your Imelda launch an attack on the enemy with Freeze Strike, because if you're facing off against Landius, you can't single target strike in general. So being able to bring 3 2-cost skills on Imelda is huge. Okay. Once again, I don't know if I'm going to use her for PvP, but at least I have her set up and ready for use, right? I just need better gear on her at this point. So what's next? So I'm going to also unlock Leonhardt, I feel, because Leonhardt, well, my Leonhardt is only 5 stars, but I might as well get him unlocked because he could choose to bring, multiple 3 2-cost skills instead of being forced to bring like instant transfer or Zero Storm. This one is less useful to me, especially since my Leonhardt is only 5 stars, not 6 stars, but I'm gonna do it. So Leonhardt is facing off against Chloe, Estelle, and Joshua. And this is not a bad thing for me because I'm just going to bring 2 single target strikes, so Sun Slash and Air Slash, and instant transfer for the potential mobility buff. Let's begin. I stick with my Dark Guard. So for this first battle, it's to face off against Chloe, and I need to avoid Starglow. Right, so she can move 3 and then target 3, so I'm gonna move back like this to avoid it. This time Danger Zone. Oh, she actually went back to Aurora Ring. Interesting. Alright, so she's still gonna move forward 3, and then 1, 2, 3 probably, so I still have to stay out of range of Starglow. Alright, so now she's come down. I am going to just Sun Slash her in melee range and one shot. So next up is Estelle for cheer attack. Well, first she uses cheer. Now she's gonna move down 3, then 1, 2, 3 to here. So I'm just gonna place myself right here, ready to attack her. She comes down 3. I end turn. She moves down 2 more, and I'm going to Air Slash her and finish her off. 2 down. Now Joshua comes. I'm just going to place myself even further away over here. And the reason I'm placing myself further away is because Joshua has Phantom Raid, right? With the 4 block AoE. So I have to avoid it. And Joshua should move 3 to here, and I should be just outside of range. And I'm going to instant transfer on the spot, because instant transfer gives me +1 mobility. So Joshua moves down, doesn't do anything. I was just outside of the range of Phantom Raid, and now I can move in to Sun Slash Joshua and one-shot him. ending the fight. Alright. And next up, yeah, I'm just doing a lot of 60 unlocks right now of all the characters I may use for PvP and PvE. So, and that's because I had a lot of those resources saved up, right? A lot of these splendid stardust. So I'm going to unlock Lana next because I mentioned several times where I found I could actually use the 6 costs on Lana, and you know what? I might as well get it now then. So since I do have the splendid stardust for it, so let's begin. Her 6 cost unlock. So Lana is going to single target strike here, right? And so I'd be better off bringing Dark Reaper. Let's begin. As a DPS character, Lana should be super straightforward. So it's Dark Reaper Shuri. And one-shot her. Blocks activated. I don't think I needed it, but bonus that it did. I'm going to actually have in sanction here because I can actually move back a tile and still be out. I think I'm no. Nope. Gonna move in and free strike. So trading range attacks with Hind. One shot again. And then there's just Elwyn. Turn on danger zone, move up. Okay. Elwyn moves into range. I'm just going to free strike one last time at 2 range. Easily finishing off Elwyn, ending another fight. Okay. And Lana will be the last character I do the first awakening on because there's no one else I need to do that actually needs their awakening. For example, Illustrial doesn't have her first awakening, but the reason she doesn't have it is because I always bring her with Roundabout, right? That's a 1-point skill. So she does not need her first awakening until her 3-cost skill is unlocked. So you get the first awakening to unlock the second awakening, long story short. Omega is pretty much the same. Currently, no matter what, you're going to bring surprise attack. So once again, he does not need the first awakening because you only use 5 points for him. Renee and Young Jessica for me are both at 4 stars, and thus they're just eliminated from use in Apex Arena because they won't be able to one-shot anything. Ledin is a tank. I don't need another tank. Chloe is a healer. She would make my 5th PvP healer, and so I'm not going to awaken her. And that's pretty much all the characters that I would need to get awakenings on at this point. So everyone else is just unnecessary at this time because they're either much weaker, like, you know, Ultimuller, Hind, Matthew, you know, characters that I don't will ever use for PvP, or they already have it. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.